Hi, folks, and welcome to another Saturday morning Samoflange.
What's happening now? Have we had one too many Pepsi Zeros?
Maybe so. Maybe so. I need another.
This episode brought to you by Pepsi Zero.
Pepsi Zero. We have a new big logo on the can now. I like it though.
Somebody screwed with the logo again, Jeffrey.
Yeah. So this is it. We're talking about time stories experiences.
This is it, and look, this is the final episode of Saturday Morning Samoflange that you will have to skip through because we are talking about time stories again.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You might have to skip through one more at least in the future.
Yeah, in the future. One more in the future at least that we know of. So when the Blue Cycle came out, people complained about the macro story overall arcing, and people hated that you had to buy them all.
All the spoilers. Yeah, all the spoilers
here
for time stories.
And I thought that was lame, but they made a separate game you could buy to add on to your regular gameplay of the Blue Cycle called The Experience.
The Experience.
Where I didn't know what to expect.
It sounds like a bad bar in New York City or something.
The Experience, a gastropub in Cleveland.
It sounds like a bad vodka. I don't know.
Yeah. The Experience. Time Stories Experience.
Time Stories vodka
introduces experience.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Or it's a it's a perfume.
It's a cologne. Experience by Time Stories. Taste the legacy.
You get Johnny Depp out there. Experience by Time.
Experience by Time Stories.
Okay,
it's a legacy.
Okay,
you make your own legacy.
Look, what's the name of this company that makes this? Space Pirates or something?
Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboys. That's right. You're welcome to use that, Space Cowboy.
There you go.
If you need to
if you need to make a cologne for Time Stories,
you have permission. You have our permission.
I love it.
Idea.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So
to Go
this
ahead.
thing came
I was
in
thinking about good smelling body odor.
Yeah. I wonder now. I want to know what the Experience smells like. Hopefully, it smells good.
Sounds like a wrestler. Yeah. Like a wrestler name.
No, it's a DJ at a nightclub in Los Angeles.
Oh, it's the Experience.
No, it's a DJ. What up, kitty cats? I'm the Experience. And you're about to live one. There it is. And that's exactly what's in the box.
There you go. Done.
It's cologne, a DJ, and a wrestler. They're so confused.
And like a new flavor of Pepsi.
A new flavor of Pepsi. What is
Experience.
This? It should be Crystal Pepsi.
Oh,
that's Pepsi Blue. Hey, there you go. It's the Blue Cycle.
We're on fire today.
Oh, I'm telling you.
We should work in a PR firm or a
but we should let us help with the next time stories, please.
And look, we can figure out the writer's strike. Just hire us.
There you go. We got it. I only think it impacts board games, so I think we're good.
There you go.
But either way, so I got this box in. I was reading it before we got here because I knew it had to tie in the overall storyline. And I was a little bit confused at first, but then we got it down. What it is you're playing characters from the book. From the Hayden file.
Book.
Yeah, the written novel book. So you're playing these characters, which was nice, a tie-in from the White Stories novel.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay. And so we picked these characters.
Which you read. We wrapped up the White series, and then you went on vacation or to the beach or something and took it with you as your beach read for that week.
And came back, read it, surprised you with it while we were talking about the little promos that came with it. And there are no promos for Blue Cycle. Like we had those promo tokens for White Cycle. We didn't have any promos for Blue Cycle, which is fine. We don't have to.
What was the promo we played for? Like it was just
for the White Cycle was the White Rabbit tokens.
No, I'm talking about the last.
I mean like little promo tokens. Excuse me.
Oh, right,
like the little promo cheats.
The little physical token things.
What are they called? Beacons.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The beacon that you had to buy separately for like $5 each. They were fun.
Yeah,
and definitely worth it. But so when we're talking about the experience here, I looked up and then I figured out what was going on. After each adventure, you come back for a little bit more of the storyline. And then you do a little resolution yourself by doing the same exact challenge, by using the Destiny cards, even though I notice it forces you to use Destiny cards. And by the way, we haven't talked about Destiny cards. Destiny cards are in every game where if you can pay some Azrak, but you're trying to hit the exact number sometimes. If you go over, sometimes you succeed, but not as well. If you go under, you fail. But if you hit it just right, then you get success and a bonus.
Yeah.
So, and they don't expect you to use all your Azrak, which we were doing, but because that Destiny card deck, it screwed us so many times, and I'd rather be roll and die than choosing a Destiny deck that's going to... It seemed like the Destiny deck screwed us so many times.
It did. Because we didn't realize there were a couple times because it's just number -1 and 1 and
that's
and
the other thing
0.
I love, that we assumed there was a number in there because it hadn't pulled up yet.
It got us again even on that, like, because it was what 5
we
or
were
6
counting cards in one of the decks because one deck is a reshuffle, but we didn't get it yet. And
it
we
was
said, okay,
-1 and -2, -3, and then was it a 0?
Well, it just goes -1 and then it goes ... 0, then it goes ... 3.
Yeah,
you know, so
that's
it's
right.
-1 to 3. But I said, guys, the next two cards,
the
one we
have to
is
be
a
this
2 and a
because
3.
we haven't gotten it yet,
and so we got it.
And then we flipped it over. No.
And then I was so pissed.
Yeah.
I was so effing pissed. I looked at every card in the deck afterwards. There was no positive 2.
There isn't a positive 2.
There's 2 -1s.
Exactly.
And I love that because the deck just said -1 to 3.
Yep.
But didn't say there. In the past deck, there has been a number for each one. But I can't remember which one that was. They said, not today.
Total jerks.
You know, it's the Newman from Jurassic Park. The screensaver popped up. Didn't say the magic word. You know. So it was really good, really terrible. But the experience makes you do the Destiny cards.
Newman.
But to make it worse, the Destiny cards have a skull. One skull card in it.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And we got it.
Like on the first go.
And it's an automatic fail no matter what you did.
And we lost.
And it's the worst type of fail.
So much from that.
And when you fail, you move up on this meter where you do, that's bad. You want to pull back, but we always moved up. And we were in the black. That's how bad it got. And that's the worst you could ever get, which is disastrous. So there was a lot of push and pull. Some things we got okay. If you do it okay, you stay at where you're at. If you do awesome, you move back 1. If you fail, you move up 2 on this color grade scale. And that means that's the type of challenge that you're going to take on next. Now, throughout the entire series, we are picking up XP cards. They're specially marked cards. In certain games,
this is
just like the time cubes from the first one.
Exactly, very similar to that. So after we were finished with the story, then we got these XP cards and everything explained. If we did it right,
and it did say if you're playing with the experience, you keep these cards, the XP cards, experience. And the thing is, though, that was nice. If you're not playing with the experience, then you don't shuffle the cards.
Right.
But if you
one
do,
of
take
them was
them
like a little bottle of cologne. One of them was a little wrestler.
That's exactly what it was. Yes. A bottle of vodka. Yes. But there were people. And the thing is, they said it was almost, and now that I'm realizing this after we played it, this was an I'm sorry about the time cube.
What?
Thing.
You think?
I think it was because now.
Tell me what.
The XP cards will help your stats.
Yeah.
And they'll help you out get better.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey guys, this is an overall, and we're not going to give a big puzzle at the end. We know exactly. We're going to tell you exactly what they're used for, why you need them, and by the way, I know from Team B, we didn't get all of them, and they didn't get some of ours.
What? So we missed some time cubes, basically, or
we could have brought the professor from Hot All Project with us. I don't know how they got him.
What?
Someone got him. The professor came with us.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things. No, not ours. We brought another girl.
What?
We brought a different girl. We brought someone different. They brought, I can't remember, vice versa. They brought different people back because I looked at the card and
really?
Because I put them all back. I took pictures of them for us. Yeah. And I shuffled them all back in. And I thought, okay, I'll wait for that card. And they didn't get them. I was like, oh no. But then we picked another. I was like, wait, where did you get that?
Totally different person.
And I was like, that's a different.
What?
So there's even more XP cards in the deck that we didn't find. I love that, though.
That's cool.
I love that.
That is very time cube thing, but I like that better because we were so disappointed. That was one of the few major disappointments we had with the
which was a legitimate gripe from fans. That's a legitimate gripe. Well, we don't deny the time cube.
We couldn't finish the final puzzle because we didn't have all the time cubes. Yeah. And we didn't.
And then the final puzzle was nothing. It was an ad for Time Stories 2.
Right. It was Drink Your Ovaltine.
That was
my only real complaint.
That's a legitimate gripe that every fan should have.
Yeah, I agreed. They screwed up.
He it was like the last episode of Lost. You know, you thought you were going
last
such good
episode of Seinfeld.
you farted on the very end. You face planted on. You didn't stick the landing. You face planted.
Right.
After such a great performance, but so this time they're using these for a purpose and they're telling you what they are, but their stats were different than ours. Was the thing.
Cool.
Their luck was way better. They did. we're in the we're in the black right now.
Yeah, not good.
They're in the green.
What?
Which I didn't think you could get. I said that's impossible. But they got the Destiny cards worked their way.
Oh man,
they did have me use Tessa's. Remember, I had to lose them because we had so many bad things we had to use Azrak to get rid of, and I couldn't power up my girl who could get rid of the skull card.
Yes.
This time they gave me that one because when someone read my thing, I read it out and they said, "Get that one." I said, "Good, I always wanted that one." So I got it, and sure enough, we got the skull card and went, cancel. And everyone cheered, and then the next card was the one that helped us perfectly.
That would have changed everything.
It would have changed, the whole life again. But
That's just as bad as a bad dice roll from the white cycle. Yeah.
But so every time you're doing this one little adventure, and then you get a little storyline from it. Okay.
Right.
Now I got to admit, the first storyline is rather bland, and it doesn't. And by the way, I did cheat and just look up, make the different decisions. It doesn't matter what level you're on in the first one. So we got an angry talk by Tessa.
Yeah.
They got a pep talk. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
When I was reading it, but she's happy and she's motivating us, and we can go all the way, guys. I feel good. And so, come on, guys, look alive. That sucked. We got to do better. But it's the same story.
Same thing happens.
So nothing changed.
So because usually when Bob was ripping us apart in the white cycle, it was bad. It was really bad.
Well, you had that decision where they decided to kill the four brothers, and we decided to keep them alive.
Yeah, with the
and
pirates.
then we went to a different story. We had a different
a
intro
whole
card.
Other intro
we had to
card.
read a different item card in Medem because we had a different storyline.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
Then they did, and that's really cool.
That's very cool.
But in this one, I thought, they're going to do the same thing, right? Now that we did something good, she's going to give us some more. No, it was the exact same thing, except this time she's not mad.
Interesting.
I was like, oh, that's kind of lame. The second one, basically the same thing too. Again, she's mad at us. We're doing bad because we were doing bad. We just had bad luck on that Destiny deck.
We really did.
The second group had the same exact conversation about the three. Now we're trying to find these 3 green stones to do the blah blah blah.
Right.
To do so now we know. But when you get to the last adventure, that's where it was widely different from the two of us.
What do you mean?
You guys gave the stone to the Elois.
Yeah.
And then they gave it. We brought him back because he was an XP card.
Right.
And of course, now that we brought him back, he found our base. Why did we bring him back? Now the Elos have attacked us. We're on the run again, and she's like, "F it, we're just going to go after and go back in time and try to save Bob."
This all in one day.
Even though we don't have the stones we need, we got to go. Okay, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And now there's a different story. They did not get the Elos. They had the stone, and it goes the same direction. But now she's like, "Great job! You know what? You guys are doing so good. I think we can go ahead and use just one stone and go get Bob. I think we've got, because you guys are on such a good record right now."
Yeah.
So, but the thing is though, there was several different endings here. We got the worst. Huzzah for us. The second one was bad because the station was about to be invaded, and we made it. The last time they attacked and a lot of people died.
Sure.
And we were the last victims. This time we were able to make it out in time. And she gave us guys, you got to be more careful.
Interesting.
And then the third one was, you're doing great.
This
is awesome.
Let's do it.
You know what? I feel like we can do this.
Interesting.
I was going to say let's go collect the other ones, but now I'm thinking we can. So all roads lead, all paths lead to Rome.
You're going. Yeah.
We're still going to the same spot, but it was a different storyline in a way. Because man, I felt awful. I mean, when I was like, oh no, because it was the worst ending ever. And when they didn't do it, I said, do you want to give it? And they went, no. And I went, why? And I remember his name was Ben. He goes, the Elves are the bad guys. Who would do that? And I was like, yeah, who would do that? Yeah. In all defense, I was Anton. I was in another room when this happened.
Nick and I had,
but I don't remember what the situation was because I never knew what the choice was.
We had a reason,
but remember,
because we did say that to each other. Like, wait a minute, but if we do this, then he's the Elois or whatever. That we don't want to do that. But then there was a very good reason why, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, he said, look, give me the stone. I will help you. He said, this guy's got to be stopped. He said, I know, or something.
Right.
He gives you a talk. And then sure enough, like we thought, no, he's going to screw us. But no, if you give him the stone, he does help you. He was a huge factor in winning.
Exactly.
In fact, we had the Team B had a hard time defeating that guy.
Because they didn't have him?
We didn't have the Elois.
So that's what changed?
So the Elois is a sledgehammer.
Oh, interesting.
But the thing is, it's bad. It's good for this is so weird. It's good for the regular game. But if you're playing the legacy game, it's horrible.
Nick and I would not have been able to finish that run.
No, because I wasn't there, and because I didn't know I could go back at any time.
No, I mean we were so out of Azraq.
Yes, I know.
That there was no way we could have done it without him.
Yeah. And that we were having that problem too, and I thought, dang, this is really hard. I don't remember it being hard. And I was like, we had the Elois.
Exactly.
So it benefits you to choose them if you're not playing the legacy game. But if you're playing just like Time Stories, if you're playing the legacy game, we're going to penalize you so bad. And we lost XP points because of him.
That's right. Oh, that's right. We had to give some stuff up.
We had to give a lot of stuff up. Yeah. We lost a lot of our abilities. By the way, you get one-time only use on abilities, and those things can help, man. Yeah. And you two were so well powered up. Because
we had a lot of items and the special stuff we had collected.
Team B was a bunch of democratic hippies, and they wanted to spread the love like welfare. Everyone got an even amount. They all were on together, which was fine. But I was thinking, dang, I really miss Benjamin's power and Nick's power right now, and this guy's power would have been great to power them up, and But
did they choose completely different like main characters and everything too?
Well, they did. We chose different. I think I still got Tess. But I got Tess again. I picked last, but I got Tess again. Yeah. And but they all had the beginnings of some of your powers, but they didn't have because we were getting level 4.
Team B 3 people or 4?
Team is 4.
So you're playing with 4.
We're playing with
just
4.
That alone can be different.
Yeah, it's different with that too. But you think it's easier, and it's not. The game really balances out well.
That's cool
because we get less Azraq to start with.
Right. That's right.
It's the same amount of Azraq, just split among 4 players. I was thinking, dang, is this right? Because I kept looking at the rule book and went, oh, duh! I had started off with more because I was 3 players, and I thought, man, this is so smart. And so the gameplay for the experience was different in some aspects, but these guys in the experience, they did better, a lot better. And I'll be honest, the Destiny deck screwed us, Team A.
Oh, it was terrible.
But Team B just happened to get the right. Well, there is some strategy in there.
I
don't want to take away everything from Team B.
I can't get out of my head. Like every time, all I hear is The Experience by Space Cowboy. Like it just I see like a model swimming in some kind of fabric on TV.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just got distracted by Cindy Crawford.
But anyway, The Experience. It's like you need to go to the IMAX to experience this game. Time Stories, The Experience, only in IMAX.
Yeah.
The IMAX. That's the sequel, is the IMAX experience. But anyway,
there you go. That's brilliant.
But yeah, so I really enjoyed that you can have different statistics from different cards you bring in, and they were different cards. Some of the cards we brought back were the same.
Yeah.
But some, like the harp from Midsummer Nights,
yes.
We both brought that back.
Yes.
But there are other things we brought back from Midsummer Nights that we did not have the first time. In fact, they did not solve the tree goddess thing. She did not get her thing. I think the fairy still got his, and I can't remember if the fawn got his. I can't remember who it was.
Whatever happened to the unicorn horn? Did you use it?
I don't recall.
Did you use it for something?
I think so. I can't remember. But either way, though, for B's team, I know that certain people did finish their things, certain people didn't. But the thing is, though, you brought back different experience, which I thought was neat.
That is cool.
And we had,
because that will make an entirely different playthrough.
It would be. And to be fair, because we had we had so many weaknesses, and the weaknesses you can garner by making bad, or just getting bad luck, or making bad decisions,
or bad destiny,
or just getting bad destiny cards. Mm-hmm. And so we were always having to lose Azraq to get rid of our weakness. Now, do you always have to? No, but it does hamper you. It does hamper you in the game.
Yeah.
Nick was hogtied on who he could pick. There was only one person he could pick each round, or one or two, because he was limited to who he could pick as a character. Because remember, he couldn't take any female characters.
Right.
And then something else was going on too. I can't remember what yours was, but there's a few things that hamstrung us in the game, and
just another little layer.
Yeah, just
of strategy to it,
and I loved it. I loved it.
It's great.
And so there's a lot of different, or I started with one less Azrak or whatever, and I was like, oh wow. And so some of it can get worse and worse, but you can use your leftover Azrak at the end of the game. You, depending on how well you did, you gather Azrak, you pay for it to get rid of weaknesses, or to. And by the way, I am positive you cannot upgrade everything. It's
cannot?
just impossible.
Wow.
Well, I mean, but that's how it should be,
makes sense.
because you need to tailor your character on how you wish it.
Yeah.
You know. And
That's
by the
cool.
way, I realized this too. One of those tracks, I don't know, it was for me. One of those tracks benefited me during the experience, but not during gameplay.
What?
And the other ones benefit us during the gameplay, but not the experience.
Interesting.
Did y'all have tracks that did the same?
No.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
believe so.
So, but
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay.
Oh, well, some of my powers
Were
were.
it-
It
for
wasn't
the
a full
experience.
track. It was just a single power or something.
like choose a different Destiny card during a
right.
red alert.
One
or-
of them is like, you know how we were paying to remove negative traits? One of mine was I can use this power
To get rid of a weakness.
negative trait instead.
See,
Yeah.
So I wonder if everyone had a pathway to something that doesn't impact the game, but impacts the legacy story.
Probably.
But I just noticed that the second time through. Either way, though, the experience is fun. It's fun. I just wish there was more variety on whether you got good. It seemed like we were bumbling through it. The team B was doing good. So with the pathways were, I say doing good. They did better than us.
Sure.
But anyway, the thing is though, there wasn't any. There was the same pathway, which I'm okay with, but I wanted a
Yes.
little bit more like if we were in good and we were in the green, I was hoping Team B would have had a little bit extra
Something
info that
extra
that Team A
yeah,
never got.
right.
I wanted a different storyline, a different, like we're in the know because there's nothing you don't know that we don't know.
Right.
Except we don't know that being an Elvis back was a bad idea. I mean, we don't know what would happened.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, it's still a to be continued at this point. We still don't know exactly how much it will matter.
Yeah,
but I agree. Like all roads lead to Rome. You still would have liked to have seen some different scenery or something on the way.
Because what was it, the Dungeons and Dragons scenario?
Yeah.
That one is they all lead to the same thing, but you have to go different ways,
Yeah,
different
exactly.
paths.
Depending on who your party
Yeah,
is.
it depends who you are. Because if you're not the forest newt, you can't go into the woods.
Right.
If you're not the thief, you can't go into the thieves' den. If you're not the wizard, you can't go to the wizard's market.
Right.
So there's certain things that are blocked off. You can still get to the end, but so with experience, yes, you should get it because it continues on the story, which I want to know the end. I'm dying to know the end, but I just wish there's more variety in the storytelling than just it's the same. You're going in the same path no matter what you pick. It's just angry or happy or bad ending or good ending, but we're still doing the same outcome.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a little bit more thought put into
So
it.
I mean, it was not my favorite part because it felt like we kept getting our butts handed to
Well,
us.
it wasn't. I'll tell you what. If you're doing really well, it is a good part.
All right.
You are a little bit
All
excited,
right.
but it was crappy because we because the very first one we got the skull.
We got the skull, the
and
worst
it was like
possible. We got
out
our
of the
butts
entire
kicked
day, there's one
right
skull.
off the bat. We got hammered.
And so immediately that shot us up into red or something, and then we
Yeah.
just by the way, greens are a lot easier, and yellows are easier. Red's a little bit harder, and black is impossible. So we were getting which I get.
Yeah.
The game gets if you're doing bad, the challenges get
But
tougher.
I think here's the reason I don't like it is because there is so much luck involved with that.
I don't like the Destiny deck. I agree.
Because with time stories with the game and not to the experience by Pepsi, then you feel like if you screwed up a puzzle, you can smack yourself on the forehead and Picard facepalm and be like, "Oh, I should have gone to get the broom first before I opened up the tombstone or whatever." And you can understand, like, if I would have if we would have had the thing, then we could have fixed the deal.
And I think there's a few ways to compensate that because they did get different experience cards, which I remember the very first ones they got just happened to be one of the items that we needed for
Really?
that challenge.
Yeah.
So it is luck
it is
on
possible.
It is if you can figure out enough experience cards, you can because we could have had a lot easier challenge, but we didn't find. I can't remember. There are some experience cards we didn't find that they did that just so happened that challenge just happened. And by the way, shuffle in the deck. Whichever challenge come up, max your experience.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
there's
what I'm saying.
There's a lot of randomness in
Too
here.
much randomness in that.
But what if we all powered up on the experience tracks? Of our instead of our powers in the
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Then we would have done probably better too. So I think there's ways to
Maybe.
mitigate that luck.
Or would we have not gotten as
Yeah.
many items and stuff?
I mean, we don't know, but the thing is, though, it's okay. I just wish the storyline would have been just a little bit more diversive for someone who's awesome, who's sailing through it, and other teams like we're bombing it.
Well, because I liked that part of the white cycle, how if you did really, really well, and then when you had the equivalent of the experience and that, like the meta story,
that was already built into it.
And we knew that we had gotten the best ending, and then we're like, oh, because we did this, then we get to go do the thing, and we start with a bonus in the next one, and felt really good about it.
Like I wish there would have been hey, now on the next game, start with item 5.
Exactly.
I wish that would have been something for B Squad.
That's what I'm
like
talking
there
about.
was for Brotherhood of the
Sword Coast,
the Brotherhood of the Coast, or whatever.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like it should have. I agree with you that if they were in the green and we were in the black, it should have been a significantly different
and so many more advantages.
Right.
Now, I'll be honest, everyone was able to get more powers, but because we split them, everyone was at the midway levels. Yeah. But that's when I realized, there's not enough Azrath to go around. Power.
Even if you
one person could have been powered up full, but but that's fair.
A strategy.
I suggested that.
Maybe not a good
for
one,
our weakest player, and no one wanted that to wait because everyone wants a special. And I get it, you want the special ability.
Yeah, of
I
course,
get that.
Yeah.
But how we did it is I usually push the special abilities on you guys a lot. And made you had some good powers, and so did Nick.
Right.
And that really
you were
benefit
kind
us
of
all.
playing our cleric/paladin and absorbing all the bad stuff.
Yeah, but it was fine.
Yeah.
But it was fine because it worked out well. So I like the way it bounces. But I will say this: there are 9 QC codes in there, and
QR codes.
QR codes, and you scan one after each adventure. So Cavendish was the 3rd one. And then it says, depending on what items you bring back, scan 4, 5, or 6. And we had to scan 6, it was terrible. The other team had to scan 4, which was great. 5 is the middle one. But the thing is, though, okay, so now we don't scan those anymore. And so it says when you start the game, hold on, let me make sure I said that right. Yeah, 4, 5, and 6. So I think it's, hold on, let me see, 4, 5, and 6. So 7, 8, depending on what we do, what we start with, you're going to scan 7, 8, or 9 next. Wow. Or something like that. So I was thinking, wait, or 7 or 8 or whatever it is. I can't remember. So I was like, wait a minute. I was like, so this is the end because there's only going to be one left by the time you start. Because I tried scanning one. And by the way, when I scanned it, we tried scanning 1,000,000 times and we couldn't get to our next mission.
Right.
That's because it hasn't been started yet because they're writing the last one. I asked him if it was the last one. He just said, we'll review that later, but it's got to be the last one.
Here's my theory on that.
Go ahead.
I think that you are so convinced it's the last one.
They won't do it, yeah.
That they won't make it the last one. That we're going to think it's the last one, and it won't be the last one.
So
now, economically and feasibly and real meta story of it all, like, you may be right. But honestly, this feels like a giant trap that we know what's happening next, and like because you can never be comfortable in any situation with what you think is going to happen.
You don't. No, you can't. This was 3 years delayed from it kept coming out every year. They kept delaying it. Cavendish was, and so it's not selling. It's fire sale city on these games right now. Like I said, $7, $8 gets you a game. And so I'm thinking Space Cowboys
for people to enjoy this
wants to. It's a great deal to get. But I think also Space Cowboys ready to just give them one last game and then put it into it because from what the majority are telling me, I disagree with them, but they like escape game. There's other legacy games that have come out now that they think are better. So people have moved on from Time Stories.
Interesting. All right.
And the thing is, though, I'm fine with that, but I want the story to end. I want us to have an ending.
If we're going to end it, then end it.
We end it. But the thing is, though, they have such a great job. They have such a great opportunity here. Because if this is the last one, go all out. All these ideas because you can't tell me they weren't sprinkling in little.
Oh, of course.
This is the big turn on this one. This is the big turn on this one. This is the big turn on this. Then they said, hey, guess what? We can combine all of them together. It may be the greatest one yet coming out.
Could be.
And you pull out all the stops. You hire a mystery novelist, a great one too, to write you a perfect, wonderful mystery, twist and turns ending, shuffling the QR codes to where there's different, there's sad, there's great, there's okay. But you go out with the trumpets blaring, the crescendo, from the send off. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. And you just go all out. You go all out on this one. And if that's what they're going to do. Oh, by the way, I talked to the co-designer.
You did?
Yeah, he emailed me back.
Go on.
But yeah, no, because I asked him about this, and he said, we're working on it now. That's all I can say. He did not tell me, he could not deny or confirm it was the last one. But I said, I have a feeling it is. I put something on BGG. No one's responded to it because I don't know if many people have played it now. It's kind of like a forethought now. Everyone's kind of given up and moved on.
Sure.
But there's some hardcore people still. But there's, if they can do
Are we
it.
considered hardcore now?
Oh, I think so. We're the only ones I think are still praising this game.
And yeah, raving about it.
Raving about it. Because I looked at a few Cavendish ones, and a few people said some good things about it, but there's not as many people reviewing it as they did the first two.
Right.
So it's even kind of dropped out of the public's eye. And because there's other games that do this, and maybe they do it better. I don't know, but I'm interested in this one because of the macro storyline. If it is the last one, I hope it comes out next year, and I hope it's the most amazing thing we've ever seen.
I agree, and I'm totally with you. And
if they want to put season 3 up on a Kickstarter for all 9 games together, I'm in.
I'll totally do that. That sounds fantastic. And it could very well be the greatest one that we play, and I totally agree that they need to wrap the story. Yeah, really, that's what matters to me the most. I don't even care. Me too. Don't even care if it is just as good or mediocre game itself.
I want the storyline.
I need the storyline to end. Like, give me the finale of how you thought this was going to go.
And if you ended it well, then I will let this on the shelf and then come back and start from the very beginning.
Absolutely,
I would play this game again. If the storyline was good, don't give me Game of Thrones, don't give me Dexter, don't give me
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Give me give me Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes, exactly.
Which, to be honest, if they would have stopped making if they didn't make any movies and just ended on that last episode, that's still the most brilliant series finale I've ever seen for a TV show.
The best of both worlds.
I think it was the best. It was the best. Send away.
I agree. But then they made Nemesis after that, and then that was the end. But now the Picard season 3 is the final end, and it's great.
And it's so sad they didn't make a Picard season 1 and 2.
I know. That's the thing. It's too bad that those don't exist.
Yes, they don't exist. But Picard season 3 is a fantastic way to say goodbye.
Yes, it is.
But why? Because they pulled at your member berries for the excellent TV episode season. Because I really thought the episode, and there's nothing wrong with Picard season. We've both talked about how good we loved that one.
Yeah.
But for the original Next Generation ending, there has never in all my TV, and I there's a great top 5 TV series finales. Obviously, you know what my number one's going to be already. But the thing is, though, there's been some great series finales. Great.
Yeah.
You hit the punch.
You know what I found out just because Patrick Stewart just released his memoir called Making It So. And I did not know that Brent Spiner is the one who came up with the final line that 5 card stud, nothing wild, and the sky's the limit. That was Brent Spiner.
That's great.
Who gave Patrick Stewart, here's the line. Here's what we're going to say to close out the show with.
It's a perfect way. It's like a... It's you know what? Never mind. We need to save this.
Yeah, we do.
I can talk about this every Saturday.
Pivot morning.
Samoflange.